So like, understanding the things that I like. I actually never wanted fame, status, or social media clout. I actually got it through seeking dopamine every day. So every social media post was like a video game for me. How can I produce an asset or a piece of content that could attribute a high score? And then I got a taste of status and I was like, oh, it's quite nice. So like a lot of the things where some people intentionally want a certain direction, I was doing different things. And when I started on social media, originally it was to not have to prospect on a gym floor. But then when things went viral, I was like, oh my God, this feels good. You know, like, whoa,
checking those stats. Woo!
And then you see the socials grow, the email list grow, then you put out a marketing email and you see your bottom line, then your trials and all of this. And I played video games my whole life. Love Call of Duty, played Age of Empires 2. Like,
good. That's a good game.
Any game, like, and I'd obsess over it. So like when I got into the world of business, it wasn't like a drive of capitalism. It was, I've got a pretty weird relationship with money. Like I love it, but also don't care about it. But getting high scores, I'm like, that's the one. Or like trying to battle Chris to make sure I send more traffic to the website than him. I'm like, yeah, you might have gone on Rogan twice, brother. But look at that.
That's so good. Are we allowed to talk numbers?
Just
saying from like an investment standpoint, because I'm curious, because I think about the audience listening, they might not have the social media list, but they're looking to start a product. I think it's really important for people to understand like the time it takes from that idea to execution, the investment and the time horizon you're thinking about before this will be able to actually tip over and become a profitable entity.
So I can tell you everything I know, and this is the thing that I actually haven't really spoken about this much before, but
good.
So I messaged my manager the other day. We have a shared bank account, and I haven't looked at our bank account in 2 years. I lost my logins for it. So like he kind of gives me passive aggressive nudges when we need to turn it up a bit. He tells us when we're good and we probably need to spend some money and like, move it around, invest it, whatever.
Yeah.
And so he got me a card, which I never used. And he gave me my logins to the account, which I lost very quickly. So my manager deals with everything for me. He's like my big brother. And so he's like, oh, just let you know, we're going to be investing this into this. I'm like, oh yeah, cool. He will book me to do talks and events, then just tell me how much I'm getting paid. He won't even ask me. I actually give him carte blanche to do whatever he wants. He's got my best interests at heart. He could be Dom Kinging me and taking all my money behind my back. But you know what? Like when we first started working together, I said to him, do we need to have a contract? And he's like, we can if you want. But he goes, just to let you know, if we're not getting along with each other, a contract's not really going to be too much. And I was like, okay. He's like, but I can do it. And then he took me and two of my best friends on a private jet to Ibiza for one night as a surprise. And I was like, oh, you're my guy. So when we got there, I was like, oh, we're just going to be like in and out for the night. We had like a suite at Ushuaia. Then we went to Eric Prydz that evening. It was like the wildest 24 hours of my life. And I came back and I was like, oh, so we're working together forever.
Genius.
And like,
contract of the future.
I got like an offer from Live Nation before and I just sent him a message back saying lol and CC'd him in. Like, so like we're at that point now where like I went to his wedding. He cried when I got my first #1 best-selling book. Like, so we're like tight. Yeah. So with a lot of the numbers, I kind of just say to him like, oh, is this good? Is this a good deal? And he does most of that for me. So I'm actually like, I got asked a question. I was doing an interview for something on LinkedIn the other day. They're like, what's your leadership style? And I was like, terrible. I was like, I'm awful with staff. I have no idea about my main analytics. I can go months without looking at Stripe. I'm actually just a workhorse that somehow is at the top of the pyramid. I need to be managed. Like even to the point that my manager will be like, just to let you know, you have a podcast in an hour. And then I have to play it cool and pretend I knew. I'm like, yeah, I knew. He's like, where are you? I was like, not there. And then I'm like, oh, is there any way we can move this podcast? He's like, well, they have flown from Ireland. I'm like, fuck. So chaotic, disorganized, but then I can be quite good with creatives. And when I obsess over certain things, like, for instance, one thing I've been playing around with a lot recently is chatbot automations.
Yes.
So like I was very naive to them, then I started using them. And I said to one of my business partners, I was like, oh, I'm thinking of hiring someone to teach me how this works. And he goes, shut up. He goes, just spend a day learning it and you'll be fine. He's like, don't hire someone. He goes, don't do that. He goes, you annoy me when you do that. He goes, just spend a day and you'll know more than most people within a day. And then I went full into it. Don't talk to me. I'm learning chatbots for the day. I'm watching instructionals. And
What did you use for it?
ManyChat.
Okay. And is that leveraging like ChatGPT or
No. So although it has an AI feature, in essence, like you see some people doing like prompts where it's like, DM me the word coach. And there is that. And that was great in the onset because I think that people are a bit exhausted from going to the link in bio.
Yes.
They feel like I'm not working for you. So this one doesn't taste as good.
Taste as good.
And
so it's the fourth best out of 3.
This got recalled.
Okay.
But the good flavor ones are in my gym.
Okay.
It's just got a weird aftertaste to it.
Yeah.
However, that still tastes better than your Shine. Right? No offense to the Shine CEO. What were you thinking? Your first run, that flipping blue Riz lemonade one, was like cat piss. And
I'm gonna put an asterisk here. I know the co-founder, Steve Chapman. He's a great guy.
But hold on, the new flavors, you did your due diligence because I tried one the other day and I went to Ripia, but it was good.
Okay, good. Got that, Steve.
But those first flavors, I don't know if it was like the matcha, but it had a real bitterness to it.
Yeah, okay.
And I literally was like, who signed this up? And like, new flavors good. Those first ones, he'll probably agree. He'll probably agree. A bit like me when we had this, we had to make the choice of whether or not
I can taste it. There's something funky there. Chris, you're onto it.
I actually just operate. If we look at the funnel as being like socials awareness, maybe some type of data collection, email marketing, landing pages, sales, I operate in that top part.
So we're talking about chatbots.
Yeah.
So talk to me.
So for anything that can send people in the direction of a URL, because even my fitness business, my objective is, say, I'm more of like maybe a CMO than I am a CEO.
Yes.
So then I get left with all the email marketing campaigns. Chatbots worked really well for collecting email addresses. Even
talk to me about so just so we take a step back for the audience, they're going chatbots is exciting. Talk to me, what is the purpose? Like what would we use that for and what would be the benefit?
So let's say you're doing a post and you need a call to action of some
Yes.
kind. Whether it's, say, your book, for instance.
Yep.
So you're like, hey, buy my cookbook, link in bio.
Yes.
Then you go to a link tree, then there's 5 different options, bounce rates, massive.
Yes.
So instead you say, hey, you could even use a word like, DM me the word charity. Because then you're getting the word into their mind that this is a philanthropic venture. Or, if you even had the name of the charity word, give me that word.
Yes.
Then you send them a little personalized message, even though they know it's automated. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you could be out on a walk, you could be at the gym, whatever it is, just let you know the link is going to be in this message. You can come back a bit later. If you could click on this, buy this, it'd be great for charity.
Got it. Yes.
So then you're in their inbox, and Instagram is more of a messaging platform than it is anything else at the moment, really. Yeah, you got your reels, you got your posts, whatever. But even if you ever notice when you're on autopilot, you just open your Insta and check your inbox.
Yes.
So to have something in there, I think is quite cool. Then the other day I was playing around with something where I asked people to give me a prompt. I wait 10 seconds, then I DM them saying, sorry, 1 second. Then I wait 10 seconds and I go, hold on a second. Then 4 seconds later, I send them a video of me getting into a booth and closing the door.
Yeah.
Sending them a personalized video.
Yes.
Then giving them a link to the website.
Yes.
Now that outperformed really well. Yeah. So then I created like maybe a 35 message sequence. Then it waits a minute at the end and then says to them, by the way, this was an automation. But if you want to learn how to make these, you can learn it in my course, which was what I was promoting.
Genius.
Love it. It was like a full circle means of using something that made them feel like I was talking to them in real time.
Yes.
Then alluding to the fact it was an automation. Then I put that on a carousel post that I've seen have been doing really well. So then again, I'm trying different things. I'm like, okay, reels do well, but people engage better with carousel posts. Maybe when they're not using audio.
Yep.
Maybe when they're in a room without headphones. Maybe when they're exhausted from being taken through the story arcs of videos. We've got hooks, setup, payoff, B story, outro, whatever. Sometimes seeing like a carousel post can take you back to old Instagram. So I took 10 still images, put them into Photoshop to make sure the dimensions were right. I then put them back into my phone and made a story arc of the captions on there so that as people swiped, they went through a little story, which didn't have the traditional setup of a reel. And then at the end, I said, if you DM me this word, and then it set them on the automation. I think we got maybe 2,500 people from one post that ended up going to the website. So now we can retarget them.
Huge.
We can then, promote other offers. And so my brain never relaxes with that side of things.